I'm here with Nate Newton, head mechanic for SRAM PR. We spent the last few days riding SRAM's new one-by-road system. Nate, tell us a little bit about setting up on the bike.
Absolutely. Setting up one-by is really easy, and you already have half the work done for you because there's no front derailleur or shifter. And if you know how to set up a SRAM rear derailleur, you're most of the way there. There are just a few considerations to take in mind. So we've got a bike here with the new 1042 cassette and the new Rival 1 group. We'll get a chain on and get it adjusted. So we've already got a rear derailleur mounted. We already have a crank mounted, so now we're just sizing a chain. This will be familiar to anyone running one-by mountain bike groups from SRAM. Chain sizing is a little different than how you would size a two-by chain, but you're wrapping it around the single chain ring, the largest cog, pulling it taut, and then you're adding 4 links, aka 2 inches, and that includes the power lock. So I've pre-cut this, but we've got 3 extra links, and the power lock will be the 4th. Now we drop it down onto the 10 tooth, route it through the X-Sync pulleys, install the power lock. So to install the cable on the rear derailleur, obviously the cable goes through the barrel adjuster in the back of the derailleur. It goes around this fin. There is a port in the fin here the cable will go through, and then it goes to the outside of this bolt around that piece, and then there's a indentation in this washer showing you where the cable should sit. Tighten down the 4mm cable anchor bolt, and we're ready to start adjusting. Undo the cage lock, get some tension back on the chain. So there are 4 things we can adjust on this rear derailleur. There's the high limit screw, which adjusts how far your derailleur can move outboard. The low limit screw, which adjusts how far your derailleur can move inboard. The B-gap screw right here, which adjusts how close this top pulley is to the cogs. And then your barrel adjuster, which helps adjust cable tension. So now we're going to set up the limits and the B-gap and the cable tension on the rear derailleur and just get everything dialed. Again, most of this is identical to how you would set up any 2-by derailleur. The big key with 1-by is that you'll probably be paying a little more attention to your B-gap, the gap between the top of your pulley and your cog, because that can really influence the speed at which you shift. So right now our high limit adjustment is out too far. You can tell because the pulley's way too far outboard, you're getting a lot of drivetrain noise here. So if we turn the high limit clockwise, once we hit the right point, the drivetrain quiets up. We just want to make sure that the center of the top pulley is in line with the outside face of that 10-tooth cog, not with the center of the cog, but with the outside face. If your limit is too far out, not only will you get some noise, but when you try to shift up to the next largest cog, you're not going to get there because the pulley has so far to go. With the proper cable tension, your pulleys in these gears should be lining up directly under the cogs. If your cable tension is too high, the chain will start hitting the next cog up, and so you'll just want to back off the barrel adjuster so that stops happening. As we're going up the cassette, we're also taking a look at the top pulley, and this is something that is unique to 1-by. We want to make sure that the position of the top pulley is ready to move to the next largest cog and won't come in contact with it. And that's what the B-gap adjust is for. So from where we started, we probably want to dial it out a little bit. And now we want to just double check our low limit. There are a couple different ways you can do this. You can set the pulley up directly under the largest cog. That's going to ensure that the derailleur cannot move any farther towards the spokes. If you are very, very careful and mindful of what you're doing, there is a sweet spot if you set the low limit just a little past that. And what that allows you to do is, if you try to find one easier gear when you're already on your largest cog, there's basically a dummy shift in the rear shifter. So you don't get to shift anymore but it also isn't dumping you back into your second largest cog. We want to make sure the chain comes quickly and cleanly off down to the next cog. If that shift feels a little slow, all you do is turn the B screw counterclockwise, bring the pulleys in a little closer, and that'll help speed up your shifting down the cassette. And that's it. Things works beautifully. So it's very similar to 2-by in many respects, as long as you make sure you're looking at you're sizing your chain properly and you're paying a little more attention to your B gap. It's going to be a very quick and easy setup.
For more GCN mechanical videos, click up here. For more from my trip out to California for SRAM's 1-by launch, click down there.
And to subscribe to GCN, click on Jeremy.